Hi everyone, and welcome to your RV walkthrough for our Gulfstream Conquest. My name is Brittany, and we're going to be going over this unit today, inside and outside, showing you how to operate all the features. Behind the camera today, I have Lauren helping me out, who's going to go over some of the features as well with us. All of our RVs are going to come with all the hookups that you need. We suggest that you keep the vehicle slid in before you do your hookups. That way it's easy to access all of these under storage compartments here and get all the hoses that you need out. So I'm going to start here, and we're just going to go through these compartments, and then we'll go to the hookups. Right here is your generator, and you've got your exhaust there on the left. We will put a clip in that will show how to service this, and it'll show up later in the video. All of these storage compartments are lockable. You've got extra generator oil in the next compartment. Right here underneath as well is going to be one of your slide out controls. Should you need it, one of our staff members will call you, walk you through if you need to operate that in any way. This is to manually override. Next compartment is your propane. The tank is right here where it shows you how much fuel you actually have, and this is where they fill it. So what we will do is when you pick up, it will be full. It's 42 pounds of propane, and we recommend that you fill it back up when you get back to us. If not, there is a $50 charge to fill. This can be done at a U-Haul or any truck stop. The biggest offender of using the propane is going to be your cooktop, and really for your hot water heater, and then the next is the furnace. So hopefully you shouldn't have to turn that on too much, but you will need to fill this for your hot water heater. So when it gets to about 20% here, we suggest making sure you get filled. This is the only compartment that does not have a lock. That way you can easily turn it off if you need to access that immediately. You've got another storage compartment in here as well. This is for your furnace. This is going to be hot, but there's nothing you need to do for that. We're going to start with the power hookup first. That's going to be on the driver's side here. This is 1/4 of a turn. It comes with a really big cable. So this one, you're just going to fit these knobs here, squeeze it in, give it a turn, and lock it on. Okay, once you're threaded on, then you're going to take the other side. And that'll look like this. This is a 50 amp RV. That means you're going to power both air conditionings on it, and you need to be in 50 amps if you want to use all of the features of this RV. Should you need to step down into a 30 amp space, please let us know. We will provide you with an adapter. When you're ready to plug in, you'll go to the breaker box at the RV park. Make sure the breakers are in the off position. Before you put this on, you'll have lights here that'll tell you, hey, you're getting power into the unit. Once you're plugged in and everything's set up here, flip the breaker on. The first place that you want to check if you're not having power is going to be at that breaker on the RV park side. Okay. Make sure all of your appliances are in the off position before you unplug and you leave the RV park. So let's say that you have 2 air conditionings on and all of the TVs on. We want to make sure we turn everything off before we cut the breaker and disconnect. This plug will be in this largest storage compartment when you pick up, as well as inside here we have camp chairs. There are 8 chairs. This unit sleeps 8 people. In here as well as a quick connect. This is going to be for the outside shower. So we're going to do the water next, and I'll show you the shower here. So the water hose is going to also be in that largest compartment. And when you get to the RV park, the one that does not have this cap on it, we're going to put it right here where it says City Water Connection. We're going to thread this on. And once we're threaded on, we want the 90 to be here so there's no stress on the hose. And then take this pressure regulator and connect it to the water fixture. Once you have that, you're free to move and put everything in. This is never going to fill your tank. This is only going to provide you with, as you open the faucets, water will come into the unit. However, all of our RVs will come full of water. When you're ready to fill the holding tank, you're going to take this cap off. Again, this is still connected to the site at the park. And then this is going to go in here. Make sure you're not at a full blast because you just want it to gravity fill, and it'll have this little breather right here. So that way it'll kind of gurgle at you. You want to hold it here. Stay with this anytime that you're filling it. The freshwater holding tank is 31 gallons. And when it shoots out at you, you know it's full. There is an overflow as well. We want you to stay with it when you are filling it. Again, this will come full at pickup. So you want to use this tank here. This is your holding water. Anytime you turn on the water pump and you are in travel or you are boondocking in the RV, this is the water that you're going to have available to you. These have outside shower hoses right here. And this is really cool. This kind of just, it pushes in and then give a quarter turn to lock. And then you can wash the dog, rinse off sand, things like that with the hose here. And then these turn on there. If you are boondocking, again, make sure you have the water pump on. Or if you are at an RV park hooked up here, this will just act as another fixture. Located at the back of the RV on the driver's side is going to be your fuel tank. It is 55 gallons. At pickup, this will be full. We ask that you bring it back full to us as well. We see the most damage on RVs is going to be when you are getting your fuel. So swing very wide at the gas stations. Right here is where we see it a lot. So you really want to give a lot of room. We suggest going to the outside pumps as well on the edge, because that gives you the most room to swing wide. Again, the length on these is 32 feet. This is your second slide out right here. Again, another slide topper. And just below those is going to be storage compartments. This is accessing the same panel where all of your chairs are. And if you have fishing poles or something that's really long, this is a pass-through storage. Another storage with, again, another panel should you need it to manually operate the slide outs. These are nice. They have nice magnetic holders here. And you've got GFCI outlets. Okay, so to reset these outlets, should you need to, is going to be in the bathroom. This is for outside lights, extension cords, things like that.
This RV generator has a start and stop or a reset and primer button out on the outside. You are able to start and prime / stop your generator from the inside as well. Whenever you are priming it, you're going to press and hold your button for 30 seconds and then press and hold your start until it cranks up. You do have two 30 amp breakers just on the side of this box as well. You know you have power from your generator whenever you go inside and check your microwave. If your microwave has power, then you are getting power from your generator. You do have your oil level, oil dipstick back here. Whenever you are checking this, please make sure that you are level and that the generator is cooled before you check it. We do check and make sure oil levels are full on the RVs before departure. So if you are a couple days into your trip and you need to start it up, just unscrew this cap back here, pull out your dipstick, and check your oil level. You do have a choke button or lever at the top of the generator. You need to make sure that your choke is in this run position, so it's pushed all the way back here. If it is flipped out, that means you're in choke. So just go ahead and push it back to run and you can start up your generator. You do have your generator exhaust pipe right over here. One important thing to remember about your generator exhaust pipe is you will be having your exhaust coming out. You want to make sure the wind is not pushing the exhaust back into your pipe. So if it's possible, try to angle the RV to where the wind blows your exhaust away. You do also have a cover. Anytime you open up this generator, please make sure that this cover goes back on securely and you twist both of these latches down so that way this cover is secured on.
Next, we're going to go over the sewer connections. Right now, I do have the hose hooked up. This is going to come with you with the RV. Make sure that you have a gasket located here. There's one in here right now. And when you want to take this off and on, it's a 1/4 of a turn that twists and locks to the right. Once you are hooked up onto the pipe here, you're going to take the other end, looks like this, and this will go into the hole in the ground at the RV park. It's going to be like a little PVC pipe that sticks up. And this is clear so you can see inside there when you've emptied everything in the RV. There are 2 tanks on this motorhome. One is a black and one is a gray. You always know that your gray is going to be the smaller of the 2 pipes. It's a 1-inch pipe. This is going to be your sink water, your faucets, that's going to be your shower or anything in the restroom, right, except for your toilet. So this is going to be gray water. Your handle here twists but does nothing this way. You need to pull it towards you in order to release, and water will start flowing down into the pipe. This tank capacity is 38 gallons. Next, behind it, with the 3-inch pipe, is your black. This is going to be strictly for your toilet. So this is actually where the commode is, right above us here, and this is its holding tank. The holding tank capacity on the black is 38 gallons. We suggest that you keep this closed at all times when you're parked at the RV park. We want to make sure that this tank reads totally full before we dump it. And the reason for that is it helps have liquid in there to break down the toilet paper, and it also adds pressure because this is a gravity dump. We need pressure behind it to make sure it gets all the way down and into the RV park's holding tanks, right? So into their septic. Again, to open this, pull straight down and you'll hear it open up, okay? So what we suggest that you do when it is time to leave the RV park, make sure both tanks are full or have water in them. Dump the black first. Open it up, let water come down, make sure you're fully drained. Close this valve and then open the gray. This will clean the line here and empty the gray tank. We never want to have both valves open at the same time because this is a Y. You can get a little bit of cross-contamination, so we want to make sure we only open them one at a time. If you are taking long showers, let's say 3 people are going to shower back to back, this gray tank can fill up very quickly. So what we suggest you do is come outside, open this, and while you're showering, just let all that water just drain out because you don't want it to back up into the shower. If you do get it back up into the shower, just, hey, tell somebody to come outside and open this up for you, okay? Once you've finished dumping both tanks and you're ready to leave the RV park, you definitely want to make sure you have a little bit of water into the black tank before you drive away. You never want this holding tank to be empty. It needs to have a little bit of water in it, and we suggest a little bit of dish soap. So what you'll do is you will go inside, put your foot on the pedal, and fill this up with about 5 gallons of water, roughly, and add a little dish soap down into the tank. We suggest you use that, or you could use like a Pine Sol. It doesn't have to be any fancy chemicals. This just allows, while you're driving, that water to swirl around there and get the tank sensors, which are these right here, to get these clean because they will have toilet paper on them. Okay, so we want you to fill it up a little bit. It also helps with the odor as well. You never want to have a dry tank. So again, make sure that you fill it up before you go to your next stop. Once you've completed fully hooking up the RV, the next step that you're going to do is pull the slide outs out. Above me right here, these are the slide toppers, these black strips here. These are not awnings on the outside, but in fact what they do is when you pull this slide out, it's going to come out to about here, and this is going to protect from rain, any leaves and things from getting inside the RV here. So this is going to slide out with you. At the back of the bus, we have an on-demand hot water heater. You do turn it off and on inside and operate it on the inside. However, if you should have any issues, what we suggest that you do is turn it off and on first, and then give us a call if you need further assistance, but that's going to be just a quick reset to turn it on. Make sure that you do have propane in your tanks. That's usually the common thing that we get calls on, is making sure please have propane as well as fresh water in your holding tank to operate this. Now on to the back of the bus here. The length on this vehicle is 32 feet long, and the height on it is 11.5 feet. There is a backup camera right here, and as soon as you get into reverse, it will automatically come on, and it shoots straight down here, giving you good view of your tow vehicle should you be towing, or if you would like to connect here to our hitch. This is going to be for a bike rack. We provide those as well if you'd like to rent one of those, or you can bring your own. Now hooking up here, this is your standard hookup for your tow lights. The tow capacity on this is 7,500 pounds. If you have any questions about towing, please give us a call. We're happy to answer any questions. You would need to provide your own tow equipment and hook it up yourself. We have a spare tire on the back here. Your ladder to get up to the roof, this is just for us to check and do maintenance and service the air conditionings. We ask that you don't get on the roof. They are a little bit sloped and they are very slippery. So when it is hot out and the air conditioning is providing a lot of condensation, what will happen is it'll drip from these spouts at the corner, and it will drain down to the lowest point on the RV. So the top will be very slippery with water, and then you'll see a little bit of drain coming down, some water from these spouts. Do not worry, that is totally normal, and it's going to happen if it's really, really hot out. A great feature on this RV is the beautiful awning on the outside. We suggest that anytime that you are not with the vehicle, that you bring it back in. We see a lot of damage where people leave them out and wind catches them. So please, if you're not with them, make sure you bring them in. There is a nice light on the outside here, as well as just over the door. All of these switches are going to be located on the main panel above the door. When you pick up your RV, we will go through and do a maintenance check before pickup. This is going to be checking your tire pressures, the tire quality, as well as all of the fluids inside the vehicle. So this will happen before your pickup will occur. At the very top, you have an easy tag. This is for anywhere in the state of Texas. Please don't stop, just keep driving. If you are going to be going through a turnpike or anywhere that this does not cover, please stop and pay those tolls separately. Next, we're going to go over the jacks. Lauren's going to show you here the bottoms. These are self-leveling jacks, and we do provide the pads should you need them. This is if you are going to be in mud or grass, anywhere that's soft. You kind of want to take these apart and stick them one underneath each one of your jacks, and these are going to be located in your storage. They are self-leveling. We suggest that anytime you are operating these, that you are staying still. We suggest people go outside, let these self-level. Now, let's take a look at the inside. Once you've set up the exterior hookups on the driver's side of the bus, what you're going to do is keep the engine in the off position and set the parking brake. Please be sure to remove the key, as this will impact the EQ systems and it will not allow the jacks to fully engage and drop down. Once the key is removed, press the power on panel. We suggest that nobody is moving around inside the vehicle when they are trying to level. They are auto leveling. You're going to press the auto level button, and these knobs will tell you here what is touching the ground. So right now I do have all 4 of the jacks touching the ground. These are the points of contact. There is also a way to manually level these should you need to, based on the front or the rear, right to left. We do provide pads that go underneath these, so if you are on gravel or if you need to put them under the tires in any way, you can do that. When it's time to leave, turn the panel on and press and hold for about 3 seconds. All retract. The alarms will beep and it'll let you know that they are in the up position when all of these lights are off. We also suggest that you do a visual check, because we want to be sure that it is good before we drive away. It's always important to just do a safety check. On the left here, this is the light switch to above the entry door, so off and on. And down here at the bottom, this is your step off and on. So right now the steps will go in and out as you open the door. If you want the steps to stay locked in the out position, just press off, and every time you open and close the door, those steps will stay in the down position. However, when you do start the engine, those will come up for safety and they will automatically come back in. You have your main power disconnect. Right now we're in the on position. Moving this knob to the off will turn everything in the coach off. So this is if you were going to be parking it up for a few days. Please ask us if you have any questions at pickup, or if you're going to plan to be storing the RV for a few days, just let us know and we'll let you know how to go over all of this. The RV does have a fire extinguisher right here, as well as smoke detectors and LP carbon monoxide detectors. After you've completed dropping the jacks, the next step that you're going to take is to come to the main panel just above the entrance door, and we are going to slide out both of the slides. This unit has 2 slides. Again, make sure the engine is in the off position and the key is out. Press and hold the out button one at a time. This one here, slide number 1, is for your living room. Slide 2 is going to be for your bedroom. And when you want to bring them in, just press the in button one at a time. You have your awning button, in and out. Make sure that your key is also, again, out of the ignition in order for this to operate. We want to make sure that anytime you're sleeping, or if you're not with the vehicle, that you make sure the awning is in. These light switches here is going to be for your awning on the exterior. You have a porch light just on the other side of this panel. Ceiling lights, that's the above us here, as well as there are ones on the side. So this is your main entrance when you walk in. Then you've got a water pump button. When the light is off, that means your pump is off. When you flick it into the on position, the light will come on. This will allow you to use your freshwater holding tank while you are driving or boondocking to use the restroom, as well as any of the faucet fixtures. This button needs to be in the off position anytime you are hooked up to city water. The water pump does run on the batteries, the 12-volt batteries, so you do not need to have the generator on in order to use the water pump. Just above that is going to be your level gauges. By pressing each one of these buttons will indicate how much is in your tank. So your first is your gray. So we always keep a little bit in each tank, again, to make sure that we don't have any odor. Your black tank has a little bit of chemicals in it. Fresh water is what's in your holding tank. And this is your charge on your batteries. Anytime that you are driving the vehicle, it is charging the back set of batteries so that you can keep your refrigerator cold while in motion, as well as run the lights and the water pump on the battery. Should you want to use the air conditionings, televisions, or power outlets, microwave, you'll need to start up the generator. So while driving, you can start this as well. You can press the start and stop button while in motion. When you're ready to start it, you want to prime it. Make sure before we do the priming that we have checked the oil. Make sure we have enough oil in there before we start it up. So after each night, go ahead and check that. Press and hold the stop button down for 30 seconds to prime. After that, press and hold the start button until you hear it turn over. It's important to make sure that your air conditionings and your televisions are all in the off position before stopping the generator. You have your hour time clock here so that you can keep track of how many hours you've used. We will take note of that at your pickup and drop-offs, and it will let us gauge how much you've used, and then we will charge accordingly. This 50 amp motorhome has 2 air conditionings. One panel is located as you enter just on the left of the refrigerator here on this wall. And then the second is going to be to operate the one in the master bedroom. So 2 separate panels. Right now we are in the on position and we are cooling with the fan on high. Press the button, press in, and it will allow you to change from heat to cool to off. So right now I want to stay on cool, press, and then you can adjust your fan speed low to high and click them. This is what you are set to, and this is your current temperature here. In order to keep the RVs as cool as possible, we suggest that you keep the blinds in the down position during the hottest part of the day and possibly park under shade if possible. It helps cool the RVs down as it can get very hot down south. Just below the refrigerator, you've got your breaker box. Press, and the button will open and click. You've got your breakers. They are nicely labeled. You've got your main, your ACs. This will flick and show you when it's time to reset. Sometimes they look like they are not tripped, but they could be half tripped. So if you are having a bit of issues, do a full reset on them. These are your breakers, and then you've got your fuses. These will light up if a fuse needs to be replaced. It's very infrequent that they would need to be replaced, and they are common fuses. This is your carbon monoxide detector here, and this is running on the battery. So if you do have your main battery run a little bit low, this will chirp. It'll also chirp if it senses any type of aerosol, so that can set it off as well. So hairsprays, sanitizer, any type of aerosol can. Febreze too will really set these off. So just be warned, if that happens, open the door, let it air out. This as well is going to be for propane for your cooktop. In this model, we have a beautiful kitchen with plenty of storage. All of our units do come stocked. They will have all of your kitchen items, coffee maker, toaster. For a full list, just let us know and we can provide that for you. If you want us to take any items out, we can do that as well. Coffee maker and more storage. Your kitchen sink here has the cover on it, and then it's nice. You have a really large sink. What I'm going to do right now is I am going to turn on the water pump, and I'm going to show you, because I am not connected right now to a water fixture, so I'm strictly using the pump, and water is coming out of this fixture. So if you're boondocking, this is how you're going to have your water. I am running the generator right now, so I do have power to the microwave. You can see the time clock here. That's always a really good indication to know if you are getting power from your generator. So while you are in travel, you are welcome to use this as long as it's powered on for the generator. You have a cooktop. This is going to be using your propane. After each time that you fill your propane tank on the exterior, we ask that you come in and light it, because we want to burn any of the extra air out of the lines. So what you're going to do is press in and give a quarter of a turn, and that is your pilot. So just let all 3 of them run for about a minute or 2, get all the air out, purge the air out of the lines. Next is going to be your oven. the knob all the way to the far right turns on and off the light. And the left here, you've got your sparker, and on the right, this is your pilot. So you press in where the pilot light is and hold it 30 seconds. This is going to push propane down the line. And then you keep turning the sparker until you see it ignite. Once it's ignited, let the pressure off the knob and slowly turn to whichever temperature you'd like. Just behind me here is the refrigerator. This is a very large refrigerator, plenty of storage space. I'm going to let Lauren come in here and show you. There is a way to set how cold they are. So just by changing this, turning it off and on as well, just pressing and holding. This is an inverted refrigerator. So this fridge is solely going to be running on the batteries. So what that means is while you are driving and you don't have the generator on, this fridge will keep cold with the set of batteries that is under the steps. And as you're driving, those batteries will keep recharging. However, if you stop for a while and you are going to, go take a hike and do something for a few hours, this will have about 5 to 6 hours that it can stay cool running on that battery before you would need to come back and start up the car again, or have your generator running to provide power to the refrigerator. Another great feature about this motorhome is bunk beds. Kids love the bunk beds. It's really cute. You've got the upper here, and then you have a jackknife sofa here. Drops down to make another bed. Comfortably sleeping teens, no problem. You have 2 seat belts here so that these people, while you are in travel, can still be safely seat belted and watch the television that is on the driver's side here. Again, this would need to have the generator on in order to power it. When you're ready to go to sleep, there is privacy curtains. We've got one here to block off from the living room, as well as another one here that's going to block off the master bedroom. All of our lights are push to touch. They are tap. So you tap the silver part here to turn them on. So if I tap this, nothing happens. But if I tap like that, it'll turn them off and on. And this is going to be anything that's mounted on the sidewall here or up underneath the sofas or the dinette. In the bedroom, I'm going to let Lauren walk in here and give you a really good look around. You have a television, as well as lots of cabinets, towels. Up top here, so this is a queen size bed. Really nice, has your own air conditioning here. All of the blankets for the beds up front. And then all of the sheets are going to be located in one of these storage compartments here. We're going to talk about your blinds next. So blinds are on a tension, so you'll pull down to lift back up. We want to make sure that these are down during the hottest part of the day, help keeping the camper as cool as possible. We're going to look at your air conditioning here because this is also really important to go over how the air flows through the ductwork. So we suggest keeping these open. This is how the AC comes down the fastest and cools down the fastest, but it's quite loud. So when you want to go to sleep and you want to push air to the other parts of the motorhome, you will close these and it will push air through the vents in the ceiling. These all do circulate and they move, so we can twist them and adjust the airflow to where we want it. Next up, we're going to go over how to use the restroom, shower, and the hot water heater. So first thing we're going to do is go over the hot water heater. It is the Suburban panel that is in the bathroom. Turn this into the on position, and then you can adjust how hot you want the water. Once you've selected how hot you want the water, you're going to, for this purpose, I'm going to turn on the water here, okay? Because you have to have flow. going to tell you I have water flow and that the fan is circulating. And now it's saying that I have propane and it is igniting. And you'll see the temperature starts to climb here. This is pretty instant, about 30 seconds to boiling hot water. If you do not see any number of these symbols, please give us a call. We may need to do a reset, but you should see this propane here unless you are out of propane. So that's the big key indicator. Again, water does need to be flowing in order for it to start burning the propane. Your GFCI is located in the bathroom here. This is going to be for any of the wet outlets. There is also an additional one just to the right of the kitchen for any of the wet outlets in the kitchen area. Plenty of storage. We do provide RV safe toilet paper, and we ask that nothing else goes down the toilet besides that. We do have a trash can for any other items. No flushable wipes can go into the tanks. Ceiling fan. Now we're going to go over the toilet and how to flush. So right now I still have the water pump on. So if I want to fill the bowl, all RVs travel with no water in the bowl. So each time you go to the restroom, you're going to want to put your foot on the pedal and half press, letting the bowl fill with water. Once you're full, you go to the restroom. And when you want to flush, press and hold down. Each time you use the restroom, make sure that you do hold this down anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds. We want plenty of water to go into the tank. The more water, the less odor. Into the shower. We've got an on-off switch. This is to save and conserve water if you were to be boondocking. So you've got 50 gallons of fresh water, and what you want to do is get soaked up and then stop the flow of water. So that way it just doesn't keep coming out. You can get all ready, shave, shower, all that, and then turn it back on and then rinse yourself off. This will conserve as much water as possible so you don't burn through all of your water. And then just adjusting here. Again, I'm 5'3" for reference, and I have plenty of room, gives you lots of light and tons of space. This door here is glass, and it does have a safety latch. So lifting up like this, and it's on the slide track. Be sure that when you are ready to leave, that you have fully locked this in the lock position. So I'm going to get it real close, and then you kind of hear a snap right there. Perfect. Again, before you leave, we suggest that you do dump your sewer after you leave, and it's important to add a little bit of water back into the bowl. That's really crucial to make sure that it's clean and the sensors stay nice and clean. So once you've dumped your black tank, you're going to come into the restroom, and you're going to put about 5 gallons of fresh water back into this tank. The way that you do that is just by holding down on the pedal. Few minutes, fill it with a bunch of water. I like to put dish soap down here, and that'll help clean it. While you're in travel, it'll swish around. Next, Lauren and I are going to show you all of the sleeping spaces in this motorhome. It comfortably sleeps 8 and seatbelts 11 people.
So this dinette table will drop down. You do have some trim pieces down here where the tabletop will rest, and then you can also remove these cushions on the back to be able to place on top of the dinette table. That way you can make a full-size bed. You do have 2 seat belts on either side of the bench. And then up top, you have tons of storage for whoever sleeps in here, as well as under-mounted lights and charging ports.
And then on this side, we have, again, 2 more storage. Inside here is going to house the blinds that give you privacy here while you're sleeping at night. These will go up. We've got some heaters. That's going to come standard in all of our RVs. Little portable heaters. That way you don't have to use as much of the furnace and using your propane. Another person is going to sleep here. This is a jackknife sofa. There are 3 seat belts underneath. Lift up and then lay flat. Very quick and easy. There are sheets and blankets for all beds, and that's going to be located in the master bedroom. Up top here, you've got a full-size bed. This is going to sleep 2 people with storage. They have their own USB and lights. Next, we're going to go over your television.
Up, you're going to scroll over to auto tuning, and you want to make sure your signal type is on air if you are connecting via the antenna. Scroll down to auto tuning and go through the process of scanning for channels. Again, make sure to do this at each new city you visit. You do have a coax connection as well as another power outlet at the ceiling. And you also have ports on the backside of the TV for gaming and streaming services.
In the front cab, we have plenty of features right at your fingertips here so that you don't have to take your hands off of the steering wheel to do any of your features, like turning the volume up and changing the channels, as well as all of your cruise control options are right here. And then you can toggle through the main menu, and it'll tell you your tire pressures, how much fuel you have left, how many miles, and all of your ranges can be done from right here. On your shifter here, you've got the tow mode. So pressing that in anytime you are towing, and you will see a light that appears here on the dash, as in tow. And then as well as you have your parking brake light set. So this needs to be on whenever you're ready to drop the jacks or slide out the vehicle. It sets just like a normal car parking, just push down, it's on the bottom left. And then to release, there is a knob as well under on the left side. Right now, I have just about a full tank of gas, and I can go 403 miles is my estimated range right now till I'm at empty. You want to make sure that when you're at a quarter of a tank that you do fill back up, because the generator runs on the same fuel tank as your front engine. So they are sharing a tank. If you're using the generator, it's going to be a little bit faster. You're going to go through a little bit more. You've got your miles. Then I'm going to go through and toggle through some of the settings here. I go down to driver assist and maintenance, and it'll tell me all of the tire pressures. So the front set as well as the back set here, and it will alarm you if any of them are too low or too high. This vehicle can be driven with your standard driver's license. You do not have to have any special driver's license to operate this vehicle. Really nice features on this is big screen, backup camera, as well as Apple CarPlay. So we're going to show you some of those. Go to the home, and this is a swipe. When you want to use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you do need to be plugged into this outlet with a USB. Then you can select your CarPlay options. You can Bluetooth to here. You've got the backup camera. This will automatically come on anytime the vehicle is in reverse. But if you want to watch your tow vehicle or just have a nice view of the back while you are going forward, it is an option to put that on. So I do like to drive with it on so that I can see if I'm ready to change lanes. I get a really good view of what's behind me. It's nice to have. When you want to be done with it, just click home and exit out. When you are driving, the air conditioning to the front cab is the only thing that is going to be on unless you power on the generator. So this will be your only source of AC until you power on the back. Operates just like your normal car. You have all of your smart features here and your hazards. More plugs. Each RV is going to come with this laminated piece of paper that goes over your return process. This is how to bring the vehicle back to us, what is required, emptying of the tanks, vacuuming, wiping down the unit, and just emptying all trash. It goes over the times for drop-off, as well as up in the top section here, it has a after-hours emergency phone number. So if you do need us, this number is directly to our office. You are welcome to text it as well. We like to get a 1 hour notice when you're on your way back. You can call or text us, so that way someone can meet you at our facility. All RVs do have an onboard Wi-Fi, and it has the password here. This is going to be when the engine is on and the vehicle is in motion. So when you turn the vehicle off, the Wi-Fi will go away. This is connected to your OBD2 port and will be active anytime you are driving. Again, this is going to be with a T-Mobile signal. So anywhere you have regular cell phone service is where you're going to pick up this Wi-Fi. On the back side here, it does go over how to empty your septic system and how to fill it, flush it, and go over general maintenance. Last but not least, we like to go over some of our favorite features in each of our motorhomes. So I'm going to let Lauren go over what she enjoys about this motorhome.
So one of my favorite things about this RV is how many individual sleeping spaces there are throughout the RV. Multiple up here as well as in the back. So large families, groups of friends, it's a perfect RV for y'all. Yeah, great travel features like the additional seat belts is really nice. I love that everything comes stocked and ready to go. Yes. I love that I just get in and go and start my trip. All the bedding, the kitchen items, and most importantly, my coffee maker is here and ready for me when I'm ready to start my adventure. We hope you enjoyed your tour of the Gulfstream Conquest, and we can't wait to see you at pickup.